in a playoff game by two teams over the course of a season. So the kick by Bass, it's underway and it's going to be returned from about the 3-yard line. It's Mitchell and banging bodies at the 28-yard line with the likes of Cole Bishop. So we'll bring out Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, the first player in NFL history with 40 more touchdowns and just so few interceptions, less than 5. No one's ever had numbers with that kind of ratio going past 40 touchdowns. Question is, do they have answers on defense? They ran roughshod over the Bills in that early matchup. They were without 3 starters in that game on defense. We'll see. They come out with Ricard as fullback, and Henry gets the call and is held to 1. Russo on him quickly.
Well, here we go. This first drive, really the first 2 drives, is going to be very telling. Baltimore took it to Buffalo in week 4, and they really looked like they were a man amongst boys, and everyone this entire week has been talking about how small Buffalo is and how big and powerful Baltimore has become, and they've been doing it to everybody. You saw I formation on the first one. Buffalo says we can stop the run when we want to, and we're going to do it this week.
2nd and 9, and again it's Henry, and again they're able to contain him for a yard. Let's talk about Bobby Babbich's defense, and this defense again that saw Henry rush for 199 in that first matchup, most ever against a McDermott team.
Well, he did, but the adjustments you're going to see today, they're going to set the edge. I think they gave up too much space. They didn't close the space, Jim. And what I mean by that, you're going to have your secondary guys laid on the line. This is a sacrifice game for this Buffalo defense. They've got to sacrifice their body, and they got to mentally be able to do it to take a 250-pound back and hit him over and over again in the cold.
Justice Hill comes in. He was a big factor in that first matchup in the passing game. Staying in the block here as Lamar has time, dances around and escapes. Here he goes. Taron Johnson at an angle, but it's too late. Lamar has the first down.
Outstanding job by Lamar Jackson, and this is going to be the key to the game. What we're going to do is crash the entire D-line over here, and Milano's going to be standing there waiting for him to go to his right. It's a designed spy. And right there you see Lamar, he just overcomes spy after spy and defensive techniques.
He just went over 1,000 yards rushing on the season, regular and post. That becomes now the first team in history to have a 2,000 and 1,000-yard rusher. And now on first down, flings it, open receiver, and it's dropped. It was Henry wide open. The pass was a little short of him.
This is the plays that you're going to look back at the end if you lose. This is a throw, just softly throws it out there, but that ball is as slick as they have played with all year, I promise you. Now, Henry is not known for being a receiving back that much, only 19 receptions on the season, but those are huge plays.
Well, Lamar's mad at himself for not quite getting that pass all the way there, so it's a 2nd and 10. Got that Statue of Liberty pause and then throws downfield, and look at Likely down to the 22-yard line. 40 yards on the pass play to Isaiah Likely.
Lamar's going to run a simple motion and play fake right here. At this point, you see how they're concerned with him? That's what allows Likely because of his legs, and that is why this Baltimore offense is historic in so many different ways. You have to stop everything. And Likely has really come on lately.
1st and 10 at the 23. To Henry. Medical line. Surges ahead for about 2 more. First into the arms of Austin Johnson. His first 3 carries have totaled 4 yards.
Well, this is where you come up with a different plan, but it's your will and desire. And the defensive line, the front 7, and really the back end is going to have to commit to taking on this as a whole unit. And right there you see, this is a good sign for Buffalo. I know they've given up yards, and they're already inside the 25-yard line. But if you're a Bills fan, you've shown Baltimore right now that we are very different than the team you played in week 4.
Got to watch out for the Ravens tight ends. Very productive. They had a combined 18 touchdowns in the receiving game this year, the tight ends. As a 2nd and 8 pass attempt goes to one of the tight ends. That's likely, who just had the 40-yarder, and Hamlin comes up to help out Johnson on the tackle. It'll bring up 3rd and about 5.
Yeah, and he's been a matchup nightmare because we have to allocate so many resources to stopping the run, and guess what? These tight ends, everyone knows about Mark Andrews, but putting them both out on the field, they're like wide receivers and tight ends at the same time.
Call it 3rd and 3 from the gun. Lamar, first option closed down. Now he goes to the end zone, wide open, and a Ravens touchdown right off the bat with Bateman. Four minutes and 20 seconds into the game from 16 yards out. Jackson to Bateman.
Well, you'll see he's looking there, and right there at the top of the screen, he does a great job of moving people with his eyes. If you're going to play zone and give him that time, he's going to dice you up.
Tucker, extra point, good. So Lamar converts on 2 third downs on that drive. 1 rushing and then 1 passing that goes for the score. Buffalo defers at the top. Ravens say, we'll take the football, we'll go the distance. 73-yard drive and a quick touchdown on the board. And then didn't score again after that in a 31-7 victory by the Bills.
I got a feeling the Ravens make this score today, but they just made it a little tougher.
That don't go into the Romo Stradamus great prediction category.
Yes.
Johnson takes the knee, and here we go with Josh Allen and the Bills. He felt like in that game at Baltimore early in the season, he said there was some early slowness. We've got to get off to a better start. And he takes the field down 7.
Well, yeah, you learn from the past, but you don't live in it, right? And they've adjusted. You could tell already with some of their sets on defense, they're prepared for this. And to me, this is why you play all those big games and you have a chance to get this home field advantage. That will help them with their motions, Jim, and the communication.
Cook, the running back, who had a season-high rushing total last week. Allen with all kinds of time, and he had an open man. He missed him. It was Hollins between 2 Baltimore defenders.
And you could tell Joe Brady comes right out, tries to run a wheel. Hollins goes to the flat and then turns up field, and I really feel it's a long week for him, right?
Joe Brady's been doing, just like Todd Monken has too. They've been doing interviews with coaching vacancies. He's been talking to the Saints, the Bears, and the Jags. Monken talked with the Bears and the Jags.
But look at what he's done this year.
That's both of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is as well balanced as 2 teams as there is, both two-dimensional.
2nd and 10. It's Cook, who had 120 on the ground last week, and he's swallowed up after a gain of 2 by Matabike.
That'll be one of the keys to this game, is which team stays in phase. Both teams are coming out to shut the run down. I do think, even though Baltimore is #1 in the league against the run, I think Buffalo can slowly wear them down. But 3rd down will be the key early in the game. 1st down really will be another key throughout the game. Who can win 1st down and stay in phase?
The 3rd and 8. Ty Johnson split way wide of his quarterback. He was productive last week. Big presence on 3rd down. Allen, deep ball, open, caught. Shakir with the catch at the Ravens' 34-yard line. He got behind the secondary for 34 yards.
Josh Allen's going to see 2 safeties, and right here he stops, and Shakir's on the middle backer, and boom, he takes a little shove by Pierce, but that is why he's an MVP candidate this year.
Boy, they hurry to the line and hand it off to Ty Johnson, and he rips off a quick 8 or 9.
Smart right here. Once you get a big play, you get right on the ball, and this is why I say I do believe Buffalo can run the ball against this Baltimore team. Baltimore's offense is so dynamic that everyone has to play from behind usually, right? Well, if you can keep this a game and stay two-dimensional, I think you got a chance.
Bills rushed last week for 210 on the Broncos. 2nd and 2. After the big 3rd and 8 conversion. Now operating deep in Ravens territory with Cook. Looking for a seam, it's not there. That right side plugged up, maybe give him a yard. Again, a 3rd and short coming up.
Well, this is why you give the Ravens the advantage in this game. It usually comes down to the offense and defensive line and who's going to control the line of scrimmage. And this team controls the line of scrimmage as well as anybody, really, on both sides of the ball. But Kyle Hamilton here, that was the biggest change this year. They gave up by far the most explosive plays in the secondary through the first 8 to 10 weeks, and they switched him, played him back at safety position, made some other adjustments, and now they've been dominant since week 10.
3rd and short. Allen keeps it, and wise to it the entire time is the Ravens defense. Robinson able to stop him, and you just know the way Buffalo does this. They're going to stay on the field right here. It's going to be 4th and 2. They lost a yard on this.
I want you to watch. This is called a surf technique. You don't run right down the line or go up. You go right there and you wait, and then you make your decision. And Robinson, outstanding technique. John Harbaugh knows how to teach it. They're as good as anyone. Huge play here.
So going for it, 4th and 2 as expected. And they go 5 wide and empty.
You know we always got to watch Josh's legs in key situations.
Here you go, Tony. Keeps it. He's got it. And he rips it down to about the 19-yard line, running behind Dion Dawkins. Got 7.
Nobody does more tackle pulls than Aaron Kromer in this Bills offense. And you see right there, Dawkins knocked the guy out of the game last week on one of those pulls. And you see the Bills just sticking with what they know well, and they're going to stick with Josh Allen having the ball on huge 4th downs.
McDermott's gamble pays off. Cook back deep, takes the handle, cuts outside, able to get away from Humphrey and pick up 9 down to about the 10-yard line.
And that's where the field can't quite explode. This is a great job by Cook. One gap back, foot in the ground, and keep going. And Humphrey, who's moved into the inside slot cornerback position, has helped. As you see a little hair, get over here. No, my hair's not that long. I'm really impressed with Cook. I mean, he's really made me feel like Buffalo can win the Super Bowl because they're a 2-dimensional team now, Jim.
17 rush touchdowns for him on the season, regular and post. 2nd and 2. Calling one more time. Got the 1st down. He's down to the 5. 1st and goal to go. These two teams in the red zone, 1 and 2. Ravens 1, Bills 2 in touchdown conversions inside the red zone. Wasn't the case really last week all that much for Buffalo.
No, you're right. But I doubt they're going to get stopped 2-3 weeks in a row. But you talked about Cook, how many touchdowns he's had. That takes so much of it off of Josh Allen's plate. And to be able just to hand the ball off, just like Lamar. And then you have to account for the quarterback's legs. It's really difficult on opposing teams. This is a good start for both teams so far.
1st and goal. 5 yards away. They go to the ground. It's Cook. He's a yard out.
Okay, this is it. It's over. It's a touchdown. I was telling you before the game. They handed it off back-to-back times to Cook 3 times, and all of a sudden I think it's a touchdown. Against most teams, Baltimore's going to stop you with that front, right? #1 rush defense in the league. But Buffalo ain't getting stopped if they quarterback sneak it 2 or 3 times in a row. They're like the tush push, but with Josh Allen.
You were talking about how essential it is to have that with your quarterback these days. And Allen, who rushed for 12 touchdowns during the regular season, has a 2nd and goal. Going to hand it off. Hand it off, and walking in for the touchdown is Ray Davis, the rookie.
What a block by Shakir right here. He's going to get down, do the dirty work. He blocks the great Kyle Hamilton, and both these offenses showing you why their quarterbacks are MVP candidates, but also why they're great play calling offensive coordinators.
Pass to tie the game. Opening drive, touchdowns by each side. The Bills 36 yards on the ground, including the final yard by Ray Davis. It's 7-7. What a start. Sims back deep along with Mitchell. Davis scored the touchdown. He was concussed in the game last week, but went through the protocol this week and was cleared. Comes in and scores. And it's going to be Mitchell returning it once again. 25, and again hammered at about the 28. Reggie Gilliam, as well as Dorian Williams.
Wow, I can tell you right now, you can hear that from up here, Jim, and Buffalo has been told all week they're too small. They're not big enough. Baltimore can put 1,000 pounds and more on the field at any time, and Buffalo's not that kind of size, but right now they're saying we can hit.
Well, their coordinator, Bobby Babich, said, we've heard all the doubters. We've heard them all.
So has Lamar through his career.
Henry on first down. Taken down behind the line by DeMar Hamlin. Had Oliver in there too. By the way, on Thursday, February 6th, the Stars will be out in New Orleans to kick off Super Bowl 59 weekend. Find out who will take home the game's most prestigious awards with host Snoop Dogg. Don't miss NFL Honors on Fox and NFL Network.
Lamar's just learning right now. In the future, he could have kept that ball, Jim, and that could have been an explosive. You got to watch it if you're Buffalo.
2nd and 11. Looking to pass all the way, and down the field he goes, and it's intercepted right into the hands of Taylor Rapp.
Guess who's back? He's been out a long time, and he's been getting healthier. Rapp with a huge interception. You wonder why he throws it to him? Matt Milano right through the...
Coming off the bench. Week 1. So coming off the Rapp interception. Here's Allen. Got his tight end open across the middle. It's Dalton Kincaid. Let's go back to the interception that set him up here.
This is what happens. You get a back, and guess what? Milano wasn't there in week 4. So he's going to go ahead and rush right through the B gap, and his ability to swim move. This is what happens when quarterbacks throw interceptions. Only 4 all year for Lamar, but he couldn't wait to see the angle on the corner route. He had to throw it early, and that's the Milano effect right there.
Just his 3rd pick thrown in his last 13 games. You're right, they were without Milano, Taron Johnson in that game. Terrell Bernard and Rapp went out in the first half of that game with a concussion. And now Cook brought down again quickly by Robinson, who's made 2 nice tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Tracy, down to you.
Jim, the rhetoric surrounding Lamar Jackson in these playoffs are these type of mistakes, and he talked to us about how he's grown, how he can't get frustrated after a mistake like that. But I can tell you, watching him down on the sideline, he's walking up and down. He's telling everyone, my bad, trying to correct it. We'll see if he could just put this out of his head and move on.
Yeah, he's talked about having been in the postseason in the past too antsy, too excited. And he talked to his coach last night and said he has no concern. He's poised, he's calm, but he does have an early interception. 2nd and 12. Sidearm throw. Samuel down to the 38, setting up 3rd and 3. Samuel had the longest reception of his career last week. And we got a holding call coming up here. Holding call against Buffalo.
I think they're going to catch the left tackle. Dawkins possibly, we'll see right here. Oh, that is not a hold at all, Jim. He just swipes his hands down, a little trap technique, which is like when you try and put your hands on it, you swipe them down, and that's a terrible call.
He's looking over the official, said, I didn't do anything wrong.
He actually perfected the art of what we're teaching.
Instead of 3rd and 3, you've got 2nd and 22. Make it 2nd and 17, I believe.
Neutral zone infraction, number 99, defense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
I saw Dawkins go over and still pleading his case about that holding call.
Well, and you'll see we're trying to get him. This is why home field advantage. You get to use the cadence, and you're taught, as you see Brown, once they jump off sides, you go. That way you get the 5 because they can jump back technically, but I really think this is a huge benefit. There's the cadence, right? Try to draw them off. Now you get to get up here and call a play. If you're on the road, Jim, they could disguise on the second and third level way easier.
Here's a 2nd and 17. He's wanting to take off, and it's not there. Boy, they were able to keep him contained. As there's a late shove that knocks Kincaid to the ground.
Well, this was not supposed to be a quarterback draw. It's a hot route. He just decides not to throw it, and you see the late shove right there. And the funny part is, I'm not sure he flopped. Maybe a little bit, but I do know this. When Matabike pushes you 92, it could actually be felt like that. He's a difference maker. He's a monster.
3rd and 17.
Yeah, he's right there, right in the middle of those 3.
Allen jumps up and heaves it. Incomplete. Knox was down the field, and they're not able to produce points off the takeaway.
Well, this is a communication error right here. I want you to watch. I mean, we don't let, there's like 4 guys rushing. We don't let one of those 4 come free, ever. You'd have to have 7 or 8 guys up in there, and that is rare for Buffalo to have a miscommunication on just a normal 4-man rush.
Sam Martin comes in to punt to Steven Sims. The drive bogged down after that holding call.
Well, that's what stops both these teams. Usually, that's what slowed down Baltimore more than any team this year.
There's Martin, end over end, down to 10. Fair caught at the 9 by Sims, who they picked up late in the year after he was cut by the Texans right before Christmas.
So the interception not really affected a whole lot for Baltimore.
But they will start inside their own 10 when we come back late first.
Well, this is where Baltimore, they are exceptional, Jim, as a coaching staff at adjusting. You just saw the first beginning, your game plan. Now it's time to figure out, okay, can Lamar keep it on this? Who should we put in? And now they're going with big people on the field.
I formation, just as they open the game with the first play. And they run it with Henry. He breaks through past the line and dives ahead right at the sticks.
And this formation, you come out with a lot of big people on the field. You can go either way. This time they decide to go left. They see a 1 technique there, and you see the size in those gaping holes. They did the same thing to a Pittsburgh team last week, and they ran more jumbo at the end of the year and 2 back sets than any other time throughout the year, and it's really imposed their will on their opponents.
My goodness, they ran for 299 last week against Pittsburgh. It was the most in a playoff game by any team since 2009. They racked up 308 yards of offense in just the first 2 quarters.
Well, they're playing with 2 back set again, and they've been going to it.
1st and 10, it's Hill, and Hill goes wide and gets bounced out after a gain of 8.
Here comes Baltimore's adjustments, like we said.
As the Ravens started this drive back at their own 9, it had a couple of good running plays to get out of that jam. Got a 2nd and 1 to start the quarter.
A lot of misdirection. Does Lamar keep it? He goes this way, he goes that way.
Hands it off to Hill. There was no one near him for the first 4 or 5 yards downfield before he got touched. And they've now had 3 consecutive good chunk runs. That one goes for 11.
And this is where you got to shorten the space right here. They get numbers. I mean, just an incredible offseason plan. John Harbaugh, Todd Monken, they say, who do we want to be and how are we going to really run this offense? I think they want to be multiple. Each formation that they align in, whether they're in shotgun, under center, we want to be able to do the similar thing. So it's easy on us, but have the option to go right, left, inside, outside, but hard on the defense.
Number 1 rushing team in the league this year. Been able to move the football out to the 39 and a new set of downs. Now trying to go up top. No, he won't. He'll take off. Able to get free again for a big gain. as 3 Bill defenders collide on the quarterback, but not until he picked up 16, and they moved the football to the Bills side of the 50.
This is why he's so difficult. I mean, these are 2 of the best teams in the NFL at keeping the quarterback right here. Do not let him get outside. Cage him in. When he sees a little opening, he's going to get there as fast as any quarterback ever. And Rousseau did an excellent job of technique. Still didn't matter.
And you saw Henry down the field, still trying to throw a block, but there were too many Bills for him to take them all on. First down. Jackson stumbles and is touchdown at the 50 by Epinesa.
Well, and this happens because of the great job by Jones inside. He's going to push the center, Linderbaum, back, and that's where Lamar ends up tripping. That only happens if you could push him back. And then you see the trip right there. You got to give this defensive line and front 7 credit right now, Jim. I know they've given up a few plays, but they're kind of controlling the line of scrimmage a little bit.
That was Daquan Jones, who really forced that loss of 4. Now it's 2nd and 14.
They're all up in here. Ball's got to get out quick, or if they pop out.
They blitz. Pass caught just out of reach for Taron Johnson, and likely has it for about 5. It'll be 3rd and 9 on the way.
Well, look at, they got too many guys up there. They planned for this. They actually were trying to steal one. I think they're coming after Lamar in obvious passing situations. That is 1 more guy rushing than you have to block. Expect that to continue.
It was Bernard who almost was able to jump up and get a fingertip on it, but you got 3rd and long. Jackson completes it. It's Anthony Miller for the first down. So Anthony Miller's bounced around the league a little bit. He's brought up off the practice squad for this one, just as he was last week.
You're going to see the motion to see if it's man or zone, and then they're going to motion him back out again. And so you're looking to see, okay, does someone run with him? Yes, now you know it's man. Just throw it underneath to a crossing route. Run away from people, Jim. Don't go up and stop.
And again, this Ravens offense, Tony, without Zay Flowers for the 2nd straight game. His knee injured right at the end of the regular season. Not stable enough to go tonight.
That is key, I think. That allows you to be more aggressive with Buffalo.
Jackson. Off the hands of Andrews. Milano was able to knock down Lamar after the throw.
They're hug rushing, which means when the running back is going to block, you're going to go ahead and take off to the quarterback. And Milano, who's been doing that a long time, this is a little adjustment for Buffalo as the drop uncharacteristic for Mark Andrews. But they're playing man, they're risking it.
It's 2 drops by Baltimore in this first half.
That's going to happen in this game to me. The ball's slippery. You saw it in the earlier game. A lot of little fumbles, little things that happen.
2nd and 10. Awkwardness as Jackson wrapped up. The ball's out. Scooped up. Von Miller. Von Miller with Hill chasing after him. Hill tries to swipe the ball out of his hands, but Miller holds on, and the Bills defense has a 2nd takeaway. It was DeMar Hamlin who stripped it out of his hands. The play was doomed right off the snap.
I just got done talking about they're going to be more aggressive. They're pressuring, but I just told you the ball comes this way. The ball's going to be slippery. We're seeing it. You've got to protect the football. You don't realize until you play in these conditions consistently, as you see Von Miller coming up with another big play in the playoffs. He's had a few, but got to give Hamlin credit here. Blitzing off the edge. Lamar tries to make him miss. He doesn't fall for it. And the slippery ball shows up again.
The last time Von Miller ran a 40 that fast was 14 years ago at the Combine.
Look at these guys. Oh, man. Every play in these games, Jim, it's everything. The whole season comes down to these things.
2 turnovers committed by the Ravens. As now the toss goes to Ty Johnson, ridden down after 3. It's interesting, the Bills, the entire season, did not lose the turnover battle 1 time.
That's crazy. And, I mean, if you think about it, We've got some crazy stats about how you don't throw that many touchdowns all year with so few turnovers. But for Lamar Jackson with only 4 interceptions on the season, I mean, first game this year with 2